The Tarrasque likely originates in the medieval story The Golden Legend. It may serve as the origin of the name Tarasque and is still depicted there. The Tarrasque was believed to be the offspring of the Onachus and the biblical Leviathan. Tarrasque is a legendary creature from Provence, France, and the town Tarasque was named after it. The Tarrasque is a fabulous animal, a subtle mix between a dragon, a half-fish, a crocodile, a snake, longer than an horse, with teeth like swords and big as horns, with stubby bare legs, a thorny turtle shell and huge scaly tail that ended in scorpion's stinger and the grumpy face like a lion. It breathed fire and smoke so constantly that it was as if its head was surrounded by a blue cloud, pierced by bolts of red lightning. Covered in scales, in some story measuring 15 meters in height and 20 meters in length, and in some story it was a thicker than an ox, longer than an horse. This mythological creature with red eyes lived on the banks of the Rhone and spread terror throughout the Provençal village by devouring animals and inhabitants. The Tarrasque was said to have come from Galatia, which was the home of the legendary Onachus, a scaly, bison-like beast which burned everything it touched. The people tried to kill the Tarrasque, but it was too clever for them, always showing up where they did not expect it. When they set a trap in Viviers, it attacked Roquemort. And when the people of Avignon prepared their axes to defend themselves, it was those of Alls who came to grief instead. Then one day, help came in the form of a young woman, wearing a scarf in the Oriental fashion. It was Martha, or Saint Martha, the sister of Lazarus, who had arrived from the Holy Land with Mary Magdalene and others. She was traveling the Rhone River to spread the word of her new religion. She found a group of people hiding in a wood. "I have come to save you from the Tarrasque," she announced. The crowd laughed and pitied the young fool. The Tarrasque was stronger than a dozen men, much less this slip of a girl. Martha was undaunted and set out to find the monster. She passed another village that had been attacked just hours before, the burning smell of the Tarrasque's breath still filling the air. A young mother who had lost a child took courage and began walking behind Martha. Then another mother, and finally the whole village followed her as she searched for the great beast. It did not take long to find him, flames leaping from his mouth. The monster turned when it saw Martha and started walking towards her, ready to claim another victim. But Martha was not afraid. She stood before the Tarrasque, her arms straight out to each side, making the sign of the cross. The monster stopped and quieted. Its flames slowly went out and the smoke dissipated. The crowd, astonished, fell silent and could hear Martha talking to the beast. As she talked, she stepped forward, and with each step, the monster lowered its head, each time more and more like a dog that fears its master. Finally, it lay down before her, cowering. "Death to the Tarrasque!" yelled the crowd. "No," said Martha, "the beast belongs to me." She took off her scarf and wrapped it around the Tarrasque's neck. "He is henceforth innocent." It cast a doleful eye at Martha and gave out a great groan, and died. The crowd gathered around the beast, no longer afraid. They knelt before Martha. In another she sprinkled holy water on the beast, at which point it became tame and let the villagers kill it. The festival was started in 1469 by King René of Anjou. At the beginning it was celebrated on the second Sunday after Pentecost and was seen as a way to ward off evil and floods, for which the Tarrasque had been blamed. The celebration still now takes place in the last weekend of June, and one of the high points is when the large effigy of the Tarrasque is paraded through the streets. He is definitely the star of the show. The story of Saint Martha and the Tarrasque has been recognized by UNESCO and placed on the list of masterpieces of the oral and intangible heritage of humanity. The mythic monster has had the honor of having a dinosaur named after him, the Tarascosaurus.